everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Four Keeps, Abyss Part 2. Today is October 10th, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these sessions. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to again join us at patreon.com/indooradventures. But the best place to ask us those questions, you could check the Twitch chat to the side. Sometimes it goes a little fast, though. So the easiest way that you have to ask us those questions, join us on Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below as well. But let's say that you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on YouTube and Twitch and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support a fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? We got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We even have stickers, journals, and lots of other things that you might be interested in, such as face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201. All of the proceeds of our merch is currently going to help support Doctors Without Borders, so if you would like to help support a good cause, or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Is Indoor Adventure. No S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, RJ, tired sleepy boy, who you playing today?
RJ, Caelum, Shatterkai, Wizard Fighter, Hasha. Launching.
LBHackEmUp, Gwen, Halfling Barbarian Fighter, she, her.
Hi, I'm Cyber. I use he or any pronouns. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Christopher Columbus is in the bad place. I play Arjhan. Arjhan is a draconian mogul. He, him.
Wings, also known as Danae Keener, Coriander Elysian, Paladin. Oh my god, I tried to say fighter.
It's been 3 years.
I've never played a fighter.
I know.
I just want to inform everybody, everything about Caelum's stats right now is wrong.
Oh. Okay, I'll see if I can fix that. My pronouns are she, her, their pronouns are she, they, and he.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, official cat wrangler of the Four Keeps. Tonight I shall be your dungeon master. Typically I go by he, him, but tonight I will be the world itself. So, last we left off, as Cyber pointed out, it has been a little bit since we last played in this Four Keeps campaign. So let's do a brief recap of where we last left off. You guys had defeated Scarlazan, the Kraken Elder Brain hybrid that was at the bottom of the Hexton Trench in the ruins of the Caelum Empire. You managed to defeat them, find the weapon that you had been looking for, this vessel that you were going to eventually bind Caius to, as well as some pretty cool other stuff, such as wreckage from a spelljammer that Arjhan, in full draconic glory, having quaffed a potion, decided that he and the Bloodlord, who he had summoned as a draconic spirit, were going to take that little bitty of the ship all the way up to the surface and then sell it, or at least donate it, to Stone Mantle Research and Development, who paid him handsomely, putting that money directly back into business funds. Now, it was at that point that RJ, you were away, so what we had Caelum do was Hiram had wanted to be effectively buried with their long-lost love underneath the sea in a deep, 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 deep place. So you did so, burying the spear, respecting Hiram's wishes. At that point, Caelum, you were feeling a little a little sentimental in that you wanted to spend some time with your current partner, Diantha Barbados, the Caelum of the Spring Isles. At that point, you said, well...
The what?
She's a Caelum, or a Caelin. Caelin.
Okay.
She's wearing your face and being like, I'm the Caelum now. No. Fucking weirdo. So you're spending some time with her on the Spring Isle. During that time, Cori, you decided that you were going to stay with Oliviette on this here raft. Make sure that aboard Oliviette's vessel, you could actually take the tyrant, or at least find your way back to Shroudport. I believe that you weren't able to send back the the submersible that you had gotten. The Arjhan's articulated apparatus, I believe was its name that we were calling. Aquatic apparatus. I don't believe that you had managed to get that back to Shroudport yet, but you were taking it. At least, Cori, that was what you were in charge of, making sure to get that to Shroudport, so that way you could get that to Alindra Stonemantle, Archmage of Ardenthal. Now, at this point, Arjhan, you decided that you were going to take some time, go to Verstaine, kind of suss things out a little bit. You also took the time to go and visit Arathsk. In doing so, you were able to get Arathsk to take some time away from his island to spend some time in the healing pools that you had created in this hot spring-like stay. And business, as a result, has been doing really well over the last month. Things are looking... they are on the up and up, and that was in the process of Cori returning to the mainland. During this time, Gwen decided that she was going to do some criminal minds with good old Tharizdin, because talking to the elder god of madness usually turns out really well. And Gwen, it did turn out really well for you. Found out that Tharizdin, not such a bad guy. All he said was, you gotta just write stuff that you're looking for in the journal, and he can make it come true for you. And to test it, because you didn't want to put anything out there too much, you just asked for some of your mom's delicious stew. Lo and behold, Philip delivered said stew unto you. It wasn't your mom's, but it did taste the exact way that your mom made it, because Philip understands halfling spices, and when it says 2 cloves of garlic, what they really mean is 2 heads of garlic, because why the fuck would anybody use just 2 cloves? That doesn't make any sense. Philip understands this style of cooking and has revolutionized the culinary culture of the Goliath tribes in just a single evening because of this. Furthermore, you had expressed to Tharizdin that you were looking for a place to have a home for the Goliath people, to which your scouts then came back and expressed that they had found a hill that made a spiraling-like motion in the center of a bunch of abandoned castles and keeps that you actually had staked out before. One of those keeps being where you found the Simlac Caelum, or I guess the real Caelum. It was a whole time going on back then. But there are plans in motion. The Goliath tribe has picked up from their stationary area and are moving towards this new area centered on this spiraled hill. It was at that point, Gwen, that you actually could feel blood coming from the eye that Talos had gifted you, being the Lord of Storms. In previous times, you had reached out to Tiamat for help. In previous times, Talos had kicked you square in the chest, and you thought it was the coolest shit. So now that you've been criminal mindsing with Tharizdin, there is a little bit of a bloody reminder that has been coming out of that there eye, as there's not a direct line of contact, but if you wanted to open one up, that's probably a good idea. And speaking of other direct lines of contact, Makaf attempted to reach out to Arjhan in order to let him know, hey, remember that lady Matea? She said that she showed up, told me that she could free me of this pact that I was in, to which Arjhan pointed out, this is the second time you've tried offering that Tiamat, and she didn't want it the first time, and she didn't really want it the second time. Tiamat admitted that they don't really know how to go about making reparations on that. But conversations were had. And that is a good part, as well as they are attempting to figure out what exactly to do with Tylera, hoping that Tylera is able to do what she says that she's able to and create more Draconians to then place upon the material plane. It's going to be a fun time. But speaking of fun times, where we last left off, Gwen, you had just gotten blood coming out of your eye. What's going on through Gwen's head as all of this kind of happens?
Well, Gwen is a little concerned, I think is a good word for it. I think that she is going to I think she's gonna go talk to Chua.
Okay.
And see if she can get a conversation with Talos.
Okay. Yeah, Chua will, like, when you explain the situation, like, hey, there's a little blood coming out of the eye, like, it's just want to talk to Talos.
Doesn't look okay.
Yeah, and Chua...
Still swirling.
Yeah, and Chua's just like, doesn't really know how to address a cosmic eye lodged in your skull. Like, if it was like a regular eye, maybe she could offer, like, drink, like, put this poultice on it, drink this broth, like that kind of thing, and maybe figure it out. She is going to attempt to commune with Talos. Okay, yeah, she would have the means necessary. And she will ask you if you're ready. And when you are, she will initiate a planar commune. Although, let me just check here really quick, because when you, I believe it's not speak with planes, no, what is the spell? Yeah, you contact your deity. Okay. Yeah, so she's gonna try and commune. And Caelum, what's the one that it's contact other planes was the one that you spoke with your dad about?
Yes, Contact with Planes also has a wisdom saving throw attached to it. No, intelligence saving throw to it.
Okay. Contact other planes, just want to make sure.
Yeah, DC 15 intelligence, you get to speak to deities, dead prophets, etc., etc.
All right. Okay, yeah, so she establishes this connection for you, Gwen. Although when she does, you've seen Caelum and Cori operate on this before, and Caelum's version of contacting other planes and allowing others to kind of converse with him is a lot more mathematical. It's a lot more formulated, and there is the understanding that, like, we'll both be able to see this. Chua's version instead is that through this ritual that she is able to produce, she breathes in smoke from these herbs that she is burning, and you see that her eyes are taken over with this bluish glow, and she speaks with a voice that is double layered over hers. And the first thing that it says is, "This better be good, the Kumite's on." And you hear a whoop-ah! Like in the background coming through it.
Oh, sorry. I had a little problem with the eye you gave me. I mean, it's great. It works great. It's just that there was like a little thing of blood, and I didn't know how to. Hi, it's Gwen, by the way. Gwen Stompfoot.
I remember who you are.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. I don't know how these phone call things work. But yeah, I had a little bit of like blood drippy out of it, and I don't know if there's like a maintenance thing I need to do with it, if I need eye drops or something. So, thought might as well ask you since you're the one who gave it to me.
And like Talos through Chua's body just sort of like pauses and blinks a little bit, and then, have you taken any blows to the head recently?
I mean, not recently, no.
Have you undergone a drastic change in pressure?
Kind of, but that wasn't like recent. I was underwater for a while, but that was like weeks ago.
Yeah, it was several weeks ago at this point.
Yeah.
Have you been talking with other gods?
Ooh, well, I guess, is he a god? Is he still a god? Do you know who Tharsden is?
When you ask that, the world gets darker noticeably around you, outside of where you are. The clouds that were all like a comfortable, pillowy, like, oh, it's just a nice like afternoon in mid-spring, they are dark. It is a deep rumbling sound that comes through, and through the like little holes that you can see at the top of Chua's tent that she is located in, you can see again sky getting dark. And Talos says, do not with them anything, speak, communicate. They are a deceiver.
They were kind of slightly released onto the world.
And Chua, or Talos within Chua's body, takes several steps towards you.
I didn't do it.
Who?
I don't like these people. Fuck, I don't remember. Nope, I don't remember. It was a cult. Who was it?
Blue Oyster Cult.
It was not. Don't lie to me.
Don't fear the Reaper.
So helpful.
Don't fear the Chain Daddy.
Gwen would remember who these people were.
They were, as far as you remember, they were snake people that blew up an obelisk somehow, and Tharsden was there.
Yeah, so snake people blew up an obelisk, and he was just there, and I thought instead of, like letting him roam the earth, like just thinking that it's cool to do that, I don't think he's actually here. I think the part of him's been released onto the world. I don't know, but I thought it'd be better for like to, avoid him understanding that he is out than, just letting him figure it out over time. But by all means, please tell me what to do, because nobody else is.
And Talos looks at you, and it's very weird because it is Chua's face.
Yeah.
And they say, you will do well to remember. When you say, like, I'm yours, no one else's kind of thing. Like, they are very much like, look, we are in a solo relationship. Don't go open the doors here.
Yeah.
And there is a grumble that comes from them. And Talos says, have they asked you to do anything?
They've asked me to share stories. And they have asked me to give them requests. I asked for soup. And I got soup. I just wanted to see how it worked.
And Talos, their eyes narrow. And asks you for your hand.
She like holds out her right hand and then like pulls it back and gives him the left hand.
And he asks you, do you write with this hand?
No.
Give me your other hand.
Reluctantly. But not, she does it.
The woman I speak through is a healer.
Mm-hmm.
You will have time to learn your lesson.
Oh, God.
3 fingers, Gwen.
Oh.
Just as quickly as, this is a surgical motion. This is the motion of an individual who has broken more fingers than they know the names of the people whose fingers they have broken.
Mm-hmm.
It is your pointer, middle, and ring finger on the right-hand side that are just back from where they should be.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And you can feel that there is, the muscle contraction of electricity that is coursing into your arm. And Talos says sternly, with them, you do not. Releases your hand. And you hear that there is a loud crack of thunder off in the distance. And you just see Chua beginning to blink. And then, she has to lean on her staff rather heavily. It seems like letting Talos inhabit her takes a toll on this old speaker. But you have 3 broken fingies. It's going to be difficult to do most things without magical assistance. But Chua will splint them, and she will work actively to try and mend these fingers for you. But you do find that holding a quill is very difficult, to say the least.
Yeah. I think Gwen will let her split them and then kind of just leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, and on a brief, as you're getting your fingers splinted, kind of ask Chua, hey, you hear any of that? Kind of gauging, what level of confidence that Talos gave. And it seems like Talos only spoke to you. It seems like any of the information that you relayed, Chua was not. To quote The Shining, Chua isn't here right now. This is Talos. She was not involved in the conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like Gwen just kind of goes very stern, doesn't say much, and then when she's bandaged, she'll go back to the chieftain's tent.
Okay. Sounds good. And Philip is waiting there and sees your broken hand and comes over to dote on you, and try to take care of you. But you are it's just some fingers.
Yeah,
man.
I think Gwen is a little bit more harsh than she's been.
Okay.
Don't just very dismissive. Don't just leave it, and kind of goes and sits down. She's sitting in one of those lounge chairs looking out the back flap as the wind goes across the valley.
Okay. Just so you know, Philip rolled a 2 on his insight. He might think that this is because of him. So he's going to be kind of blaming himself for your anger a little bit in the next coming weeks.
That's okay.
It happens with people. Conversation will solve all of that. But in the meantime, he will be a little bit more tail between the legs when interacting with you. In the Feywild, Caelum, you went through the proper channels. You know that you are getting day for day to go to the Feywild and come back.
How long was the sabbatical for?
Sabbatical? This sabbatical, all of your friends, again, you have about a couple weeks of time before arriving back at the mainland. I believe your group, just as a whole, declared a month. Just so that way, in case there was anything else that you needed to do, any extra things that you needed to explore or take care of, that you could do it before you reconvened.
He'll spend 2 weeks with Diantha, and then pop over to the Shadowfell and spend a week with Amaris.
Okay. if you let her, Diantha will actually join you in the Shadowfell, considering that with the Shadowfell now being a close neighbor to the Feywild, they need to open some sort of communication. And she is very well equipped to survive the endeavor.
From what I'm hearing, it's not as bad as it used to be, but how does the time dilation work while we're in there? Is it still 1 for 1, or do we, like, have to fill a different visa for that? Sorry, it's first time traveling.
And Diantha laughs and makes a comment about you being a fish out of water warms her heart. And she says not to worry about it.
Okay.
But if you do decide to make the journey from Feywild to Shadowfell to anywhere else, you should probably let her or one of the other higher ranking members of your version of the Feywild know, so that way they can adjust the time transfer accordingly.
Just fill out that sheet real quick on the this is a layover. My final destination is Shadowfell.
Yeah, for you guys, it's basically like one of the autofill forms that you can get in Outlook, like one of the smart forms that does it all for you, and then you just have to like input the day, like who's signing off on it kind of thing. But yeah,
other than just generally finding time to relax, I think that's what Caelum's going to be doing. When he does come back, he's updated his look.
Okay. I'm excited to find out what all that's about. So, Cori, you will have finished your travels across the sea. Is there anything that you wanted to do during that travel, specifically with Oliviette, or did you just want to get to the shore as soon as possible?
Where do we make port?
You would be making port in Shroudport.
Uh-huh.
And when you do arrive at Shroudport with the aquatic apparatus in tow, having informed Alindra Stonemantle that, hey, we have it, we're going to be here. When you arrive, you actually see that there are individuals who are dressed in the robes of the mages of across the sea. They don't look necessarily like they belong here, but at this point, a lot of Stonemantle's assistants and proteges, other individuals who are looking to gain renown, have been working here since the worm attacks that occurred several months ago to kind of make sure that everything had been the way that it is. So they say that they will take care of the apparatus from here, and that Miss Stonemantle thanks you for your time.
All right. Is Fang still in Shroudport?
Yes, he is.
All right. I think Cori will drop in and introduce Olivia to Fang and, basically reminisce.
Yeah, Fang, it turns out Fang actually knows Olivia.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't adventure, but he's been a bartender here for too long not to know many of the individuals who call the sea their home. So he and Olivia have a little bit of a rapport, but it's more like he offers the best deals on specific foods that Olivia seems to enjoy, so she'll come and at least make port at the store or at the bar when she can. But Fang is very excited to hear all about the adventures that you've had, especially hearing that you met Swift on your journey when you had gone to Orzaris. He's actually very interested because he explains that Swift was always very secretive about the places that he would go. He doesn't want other people to find out where he's getting his excellent spices. And now, Fang's never going to go there himself. But just knowing that information is more than enough to keep that the old bar hand happy. So Fang is thankful, and of course, seeing as how you have helped save his bar on multiple occasions, room and board are free.
Sweet. Yeah, I think that's all Coriander has planned for Shroudport.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you'll notice that there is a centralized guard patrol now, whereas before it was like you had your guards, like your regular run-of-the-mill guards that didn't seem to have any inclination to magic in some sort of way. But it seems now the guards themselves, while still in groups of 4, sometimes less, each group has a dedicated magic user with them, whether it is holy magic or arcane magic. It seems like there has been... Whereas before magic became outlawed in Shroudport, it seems like they're like, okay, we realize that was a mistake. So now they're like, okay, like we need like a cleric here. We need a wizard here. So that way they can actually like, are you telling the truth? Zone of truth. Are you actually telling the truth? Versus doing the whole like, we caught you. Now we'll march you through the street. Like they can kind of address things a little bit quicker and more expedited. Whether or not that will continue to be a good idea in the future is a season 2 problem. So
Great.
yeah, so in the meantime, it seems like things are going well. And to answer Noctua's question from chat, yes, Skavik Slaughterhouse has returned to Shroudport. They are currently guard captain instead of head guard. So
All right.
They have been promoted.
I think that's a good idea. I think that Cori takes tabs on what Shroudport is up to right now, making sure that like, you know, the whole worm situation's been taken care of.
Yeah.
And just like everything is coming together here. And that seems to be the case. It hasn't been long enough for all of this to go horribly wrong quite yet.
Yeah.
So
Makoth is the keeper. So that's also good. You know, first time you met her, she had a little oddity shop. Now she is the leader of the town. So that's always a plus, somebody that you can trust.
oh, it's a pretty big deal. No, I can't just go off on random adventures on my own. I was all like, I wonder what those what if there's any sea elves around here? Let's go poke our head in the water. No,
Go back to that cave and be like, listen up, motherfuckers.
I'm back.
yeah, no. I think Cori will just kind of walk around the town, reminisce with Olivia, point out certain places, and it's all like, oh, and this is where we got arrested, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There used to be a criminal mastermind here called the Big Cheese.
This brings Olivia much joy to hear you reminisce about all of these things. She's feeling a nostalgia for a place that she has never experienced through your eyes.
All right. What's our time frame for rendezvousing with the rest of the group?
You have maybe about, let's say, a week to get back to the rest of the group. I don't even know if your group said, like, let's all meet at X place. You just sort of said, like, catch y'all on the flip side, and then you went 4 different directions. So really, we'll say that there is a week left, 7 days left. So what would you like to do specifically in those 7 days, if not just hop on to Ambleforth with them wingies and fly away?
I think during the tour of Shroudport, Cori will eventually stop up on the outcropping that like the grassy field that Gwen originally played the pipe on, or played the flute on. They had made Gwen and Caelum had failed to make bacon there. And like they'll have a picnic out there, and Cori will get a little bit introspective and say, you know, I'm supposed to be Corlon, but I've no idea what the rest of the Elven Pantheon is like.
And Oliviette, with her, if you're having like a daytime picnic, I think that she would forgo the hat, and she has a large parasol that she's using to keep the sun off of her. And she would ask if you've ever reached out to them.
I'd never thought to.
She nods and says that you're awfully busy, so it makes sense. And that she's sure they understand. Time moves differently for gods, so she's heard.
Cori will just sort of like lean back, probably for the last few weeks or so. She's been foregoing wearing her armor, so she's just in normal traveling clothes, and she like looks up at the clouds moving by, and she says, "That's funny. Haven't been that busy as of late. Maybe it's my duty to reach out and make contact."
She shrugs and says, she says that she's sure that if she found out that she had a sibling that was supposed to be part of a larger family, she would want to meet them. Not her family specifically, but a figurative family of the more positively aligned elven deities.
Well, I don't even talk to my birth family that regularly. In fact, she gets kind of like a quizzical look on her face. I've got a question.
Yeah.
Out of character.
Sure.
Would she be able to send Ampleforth the letter to the Pantheon?
Roll a D100 for me.
Okay. 93.
93. I'd say yeah. I'd say you'd be able to... It'll take a little bit to get there, for sure.
For
Ampleforth
sure.
doesn't know the way, but they've got gumption and are willing to try.
She's gonna whistle for Ampleforth, and quickly write a letter to her other family.
Okay. Just like big strokes, like, "Hey fam, sorry it's been so long. Are you naming anyone specifically?"
I think she writes it pretty formally. It's essentially a letter of announcement that like a noble or somebody coming into a title would write, a letter of introduction, basically. Okay. Like saying, "Hey, I'm around. I have X, Y, and Z responsibilities. Like, how's it going?" But like in much more formal words than that.
Yeah. No, for sure. So yeah, you slide that letter slot over to Ampleforth. The letter has been equipped. Yeah, and Ampleforth goes in the I think Ampleforth would run in the direction of the woods, carrying this letter.
All right. Cori just sort of claps her hands, and so like that's now a thing that is thoroughly off her mind. She's going to enjoy the rest of her vacay with Oliviette, and then eventually when it comes time to part ways, she's going to mount up on Oakenheel and make her way over to the settlement previously known as Dragonforge.
Verstaine. Yes. All right. So yeah, you make your way over there, doing great. Gwen, you know that it is roughly around the time that you were planning, or that your stint not trying to figure out what to do with the abyss is coming to an end. Was the party going to meet you at the tribe? Were you planning on meeting them there?
Who has the house?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm sure Gwen doesn't know.
That's fine.
I think Gwen probably said like, "All right, I'll meet you guys at the tribe," and then
you
like,
moved to the tribe, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Arjhan,
Yeah.
you were the last individual with the house.
Caelum is standing exactly where the tribe used to be in the middle of a field, like, oh, fuck. Where'd they go?
Arjhan like TARDISes up. With
There's just like where Burning Man once was, there is just the remains of Burning Man, and no halfling or Goliath is there.
Gwen, where's the tribe?
Oh shit, you're right. I moved it. All right. Here are the directions. Blah.
Yeah.
I think during this time, Gwen will have taken the book and like secured it in a wrap and locked it in a trunk and put the trunk somewhere not to be touched. And like on pain of death, nobody is to touch this sort of thing.
Okay.
Which she doesn't lay down that law very often, but this is the one where she's like, no one touches this.
Okay.
Ever.
Can you make a D100 roll for me?
I guess.
Do you want adventures? Because that's how you get adventures.
72.
72? Okay, thank you.
That's how you get a tragic anime protagonist opening.
Yep.
Just a child with the Book of Theros did in front of them. I opened it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a season 2 prep.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Gwen, you have put the book away into a chest that will never be opened on punishment of death.
Mm-hmm.
You've then given your companions the new location. Cori, because you also have your messaging pin, you hear Arjhan, Gwen, where's the tribe? And then, oh shit, I moved it. And then the response that follows. So you are able to change your course, thankfully, in time. But
I mean, I could make a pit stop and pick up Caelum.
good.
Caelum's back at where the old tribe was. He arrived. So I think Arjhan would meet up with him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arjhan popped the house.
It was
Down
like
that
Caelum
spot.
pops in, confused. House appears. Arjhan pops out, also confused. To a few spot. That's just what the fuck is going on.
Dude, where's our tribe?
Hey Drake, where's the door?
It's right there, where the door hole should be.
Okay.
We all meet up at the new location of the tribe.
Yeah. And as you are going, you find that it's coming along. There are the infrastructure is still burgeoning. They are like putting down logs to delineate where walls are going to be built, but there's no like upward momentum currently being put in place here. You also see, like, from not too far away, like a reasonable distance, that there is now just this sort of like tall hill that exists in the middle of what would otherwise be a grassland. And you remember having looked all over this place trying to find Caelum, and you did not remember seeing this hill here. So maybe that's something that the Goliaths did in their spare time. Who knows? Gwen does. But you make your way into the direction of the tribe. At this point, Cybra would come out. She's super happy to see all of you again. And there are
Don't suppose what I am.
there are little blink puppies that are following her. That will like run, tumble, disappear, and then they'll like hop forward where they were supposed to be, tumble, and then keep running. Like they are just little floppy blinky boys. and Gorals. All good dogs. And Cybra looks at you very proud, like, look at what I have created kind of way.
Who's a proud mother? You're a proud mother.
She's very happy.
We stomp, we do the blink dog stomp.
There are a lot of little blink dogs that are like jumping up and trying, and one of them blinks and is like on your shoulder. Like they are everywhere.
You gotta catch them. Be careful.
Oh, okay. Hey, Gwen.
Gwen waves and you see that her, like, hand is splinted.
What?
Bad bar fight?
Yeah. It's fine. I've had worse. You guys seen me have worse.
You
Right.
opened a bar here?
Huh?
You opened a bar here?
Oh, well, no, not really a bar. There's kind of just like a drinking tent right now.
You look over and it is in full swing. The drinking tent is the most popular tent inside of the tribe, for sure.
Cool.
We ready to go into the void?
Oh, I have to go drop something off at Chua's real quick, but yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Caelum runs off, skirts into the healer's hut. Hey, Chua.
Waves at you.
These are leaves for imbibing from the Feywild. Enjoy.
She thanks you for it. And takes the leaves to later imbibe.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
All right, ready.
Do we need to prepare anything?
Well,
Caelum pulls out the
I think-
tuning fork.
I think we should, go over exactly what we're doing. Just one more time for the audience's sake.
Well, we're going to Orcus's plane to go and try and find Kai's true name out.
which
Orcus,
only
right?
Orcus knows.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's a plane of undeath. So a little bit like the Shadowfell, but worse.
Okay. Are we gonna be seeing Asmodeus?
No.
Okay.
Why? Do you need to talk to Mr. Grandpa Momo?
No, I was just curious.
No, we will be seeing Orcus.
Yeah, I just didn't know how, like, in the neighborhood, if we're gonna go straight there or what.
I've got the key to go straight to Orcus. We got it off of Tharzan.
Okay, perfect.
Was Arjhan waiting on anything else from Off Constantly?
From Off Constantly, the information that they would have provided you would be effectively the stat block of Orcus from the it wouldn't have been from Out of the Abyss, it would have been from the other publication that
Monsters of the Multiverse.
Yes, that one. It would have been the description of Orcus from the Monsters of the Multiverse, as well as they would have let you know that Orcus resides in the Palace of Everlost, which is past the Bone Meal Desert of Oblivion's End.
Maybe we should stock up on water and food.
We have plenty of that here.
The Desert of Bone Meal sounds interesting, to say the least.
What does that mean?
If I think it is what it is, name on plate, it's a desert of bone. Is that an
Yeah.
accurate assumption, Simon?
Wouldn't you be able to cast your magnificent mansion?
Well, depending on where we are, it might function differently. I know that there are some spheres, like domains of that make it so that it doesn't work properly, I won't know until we get there.
Out of character.
Sure.
I remember back when during the winter arc, when we were taking out Cyprus, a buddy, a friend, a pal, a fae, gave us a bag of never-ending berries.
Yes.
Does that still work, or was that just an arc thing?
No, you guys have had a bag of it's a bag of good berry.
All right.
It doesn't
Cori will
taste
produce-
great. It's the same berry every single day, and it keeps you full every single day. So, like, if you want some variety, you can bring other food, but...
Cori will produce the bag and say, I've got the emergency bag.
Okay, that works.
So regardless, we certainly won't starve.
There's juices in the berries at the very least, right? Right?
Oh,
I'll get some
yes.
dried meats too.
I'll go see about getting some more water skins. We'll stock up on stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Stock all your supplies, get all that taken care of, no worries.
Before we leave Gwen, we'll go, like, probably, Philip will see her off, I assume.
Yeah.
And I think, like, as she's doing that, she's like, no, really, I'm not upset at you. I promise that I'm not. I just had a bad, I'm okay.
You've just seemed
I'm
really
sorry.
on edge lately, and
I know. I'm okay. I promise.
You sure?
I'll be okay.
I know that you tell me that you're going to be okay, and I know that you will. But it's a husband's job to worry.
I know. And I appreciate that.
But I trust you, and I know that you are going to do great. So kick that demon lord's ass and make it back, all right?
Of course. Keep an eye on the tribe for me, okay?
Of course.
Love you.
I love you. He gives you a tender kiss.
Mm-hmm. She does the shoulder rub as she steps away. All right, you guys ready?
It's just like Philip standing there with a couple blink puppies in his arms, and they like swap out.
I want cuddles. No, I want cuddles.
Well, I feel like we need to maybe further discuss what information that we've gotten for this. Gwen, is there a
And what
door
we're actually
anywhere here?
doing.
Is there a door anywhere here, Gwen, or is it just tents?
Have we there? I mean, there's doors in the city. Like, there's the castles that have doors. If you need like a door,
I just need a door.
yeah. I mean, we can walk into town and get and I say into town. There's like these castles kind of around here, so.
Yep, our silver doorknob.
Okay.
We're going into Gideon. And Arjhan is going to go to whatever planning room we have and just like pull up like a chalkboard. Orcus. Very evil, very big. We should not use any sort of weapon attacks that are mundane, as he's immune to attacks from non-magical sources. He is also...
Cori raises her hand.
Yes.
Are we assuming that we're going to be in combat with Orcus?
Yes.
But don't we need to communicate with him? Convince him to give us his knowledge?
Possibly. I assume it's going to be a lot more difficult than fighting our way through hordes of undead to go up to the evil demon lord of undeath and say, can we have this guy's name?
I think we should certainly be prepared for combat, but I don't think it should necessarily be our starting strategy.
I would very much be welcome to hear suggestions.
I would rather not talk to him. I don't have any need to. That's cool.
Okay.
Just say.
Does anybody have any way to forcibly extract information from a creature of godlike power?
Can he bleed?
I don't know. I assume. But he
Very
might not
normal
have
thing
blood.
to ask.
I might have something on the table if that's the case.
I will say he is immune to necrosis, so I assume most everything that would bleed at least couldn't be affected by necrosis. He also cannot he doesn't take damage from things that poison him.
What about radiant?
It's not a weakness, but he's not resistant to it. He is resistant to cold, fire, and lightning. He also is not deceived by illusions or darkness or anything. He is a possessor of true sight.
Well,
he is a telepathic creature. He's very perceptive. He can create a lot of undead things. He tends to unleash blasts of necrotic energy. He is an arcane user who can dispel magic and stop time.
Great.
While he is in possession of his signature wand, he can also do some very powerful necromantic spells, including
Before we
instant death.
Before we start this crusade into Orcus's lands, maybe we should find someone who follows Orcus to see if we can't talk to them here first, and see if we can't hammer out a bargain.
I would like to finish with a couple more things.
Oh, sorry.
He can cause instant death.
I'm sorry, go back to that one.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. I can prevent instant death.
Cool.
How so?
For at least one of us.
How so?
I have the ability to do so.
Great.
As soon as I can find the spell that does it.
A death ward.
Death ward.
How
That's
does
the one.
How does Death Ward interact with Power Kill?
It kills you outright. It doesn't drop your HP. You just die with power word kill.
Yeah, he can. From his wand, he can do Power Word Kill, and also while he's in his lair, he can do it as a lair action.
Oh no! Goody goody gumdrops.
Huh.
Because for Death Ward, the wording is when
if the
a
spell
creature...
is in effect, if the spell is in effect when a target is subjected to an effect that would kill it instantaneously without dealing damage, that effect is instead negated against the target and the spell ends.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? Polymorph. You could power word kill something that's been polymorphed.
I was gonna say, like,
Well,
that really makes Death Ward really useless, doesn't it?
well,
It's either that or I'm thinking Wall of Force and Disintegration
Disintegrate.
ray.
Yep.
Yeah.
Could we put that in a spell ring?
Oh,
Yeah.
here's the spell ring, by the way.
We have
So-
2 of these.
I could actually do it 3 times.
Good,
Huh.
because he can dispel magic 3 times.
That, yeah.
Well, you could counter spell.
The last fight with Caius was rough because they were able to counterspell everything I threw out, including my counterspells. Does Orcus have some sort of ability like that?
Listen, I didn't want to go into combat. I'm just trying to help.
As far as my sources have told me, Orcus is not an accomplished duelist. He doesn't find himself in wizards and duels very much, so he's not a counterspeller.
Good to know.
Is there a way that we can like stop him from talking?
It could take some doing, but either the silence spell or a... No, that wouldn't work.
He also has advantage on saving throw, on resisting magical effects.
Silence
So
doesn't
basically,
have
we
a
just
save,
want to
though.
beat the shit out of him and not let him talk.
But I like the idea of finding someone to talk to him on our behalf.
Okay.
There might even be some intelligent undead on our way to Orcus's palace that might allow us to talk to him.
I'm not sure that he likes intelligent undead.
Oh, he's that kind of... Okay.
But if there's a cultist of Orcus on the material plane, or a follower of Orcus on the material plane,
You know, those who advertise themselves freely as acolytes of Orcus.
you'd be surprised.
Understanding that combat would be as dangerous as it would be, I do think a little bit more research and seeking out a cultist of Orcus would be beneficial to us.
All right. Well, we can start asking around.
Well, the people who would have a lead on that sort of thing would be the Sanguine Orders.
How do you feel about linking back up with one of your old hunter pals?
Would any of them be affiliated with Orcus?
No, the Sanguine Orders would not be affiliated with Orcus, but they... Whenever something of that effect happens, it's them who end it.
At the very least, they would know where to look.
That is where you got all of this information from.
All right.
Well, there are friendlier members of the Sanguine Order, at least people that we're on better terms with. Isn't there one on your payroll?
There is one in Erasmus on my payroll, but he's on my payroll. He's not doing active work for the Orders.
Could have a lead.
We're off constantly.
Off Constantly had used a Speedy Courier spell to give you all the information that you need. They are currently located in the south. Far south, actually past Fort Barris. They are in the Warring Kingdoms. as that is where the Sanguine Order that they had been looking for was located.
If off constantly still in the area, we can ask them. We can ask them to either ask for more information for us or tell us their location. Or
All right.
bring one of them to us. I don't know.
Either works. Are we sure we're ready for this?
No, we're not.
Good. I wasn't the only one thinking it. We need to be absolutely sure that we can pull this off. So maybe taking a little bit more time to gather some resources would behoove us. Yeah?
Yeah, whatever you guys need. Just point me in a direction.
You have to consider the fact that a non-combat option here is going to require us to make a deal with a demon. What exactly are we willing to give to a demon that they would want?
I don't know if we have anything that Orcus would want. I guess that'd probably come up in our terms of service when we talk to them.
What do
Go.
demons normally want?
Power.
The souls of the innocent.
You're not incorrect.
Like, we could just offer the souls of the people we kill?
I don't like that at all.
What else can we give a demon?
I mean, with
Services?
devils, well, I mean, with devils, coming to a sort of arrangement. It's brutal, but it's straightforward. With a demon,
Didn't think demons did the whole contract thing.
they don't. And if you do come to an agreement, it's 50-50 whether or not you'll actually come out the other end of it.
You know why
Well, then-
Orcus knows his name?
Because Caius was a follower of Orcus.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then let's not rule out trickery.
Right. But we can also use trickery of our own. Like, obviously, gods don't want other people to be bigger than them, right? Especially ones that were their followers.
That's what I meant, Gwen. I meant that we
Oh.
would trick them. But we should also be expecting to be tricked, because that's probably what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Arjhan, in the write-out, you do see that Orcus does have 2 other demon lords that do not particularly care for him. The Demogorgon is one of them. The other is
Another
Grast.
mad god.
Ooh,
Wait, no. Let's go talk to Gratz, please.
Gratz?
He's one
Oh,
of the individuals who does not particularly care for Orcus.
oh no.
Okay, that's what we can do with Gratz. And then...
Just
Albie is
fucked over
100%
his
okay
son.
with that.
Oh, I'm
So
really
we like what? Get dirt on them? Get dirt from them to get dirt on him? No, wait.
It's bad enough that we're considering making a deal with one demon.
Yeah.
What if we turn
Plus,
them
I'm sure
both
he's not
against
even that
him
good looking.
You don't
and
have
start a demon revolution?
Isn't there already a demon revolution going on? I mean, I know there's
No,
a
that's the
war.
Blood War.
No, well, there's a blood war, but then there's also infighting in the abyss.
Mhm.
True.
Because they hate each other.
Yeah.
The devils do too, but they have a corporate hierarchy.
Yeah, it seems much less chaotic in the hells than it does in the abyss.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
I know that. I know that.
I want Arjhan. Arjhan is definitely thinking like finding a high-ranking cultist of Orcus, like a necromancer coven, and an egomaniac leader who would know what Orcus wants and everything, who like speaks for Orcus, would be the best path forward.
Okay.
In order to find that, that would be following up on a lead from the Sanguine Orders.
Okay.
Alternatively, we can try and seek out Grasset, but that would require another layer of the abyss than what we have the fork for, which would mean talking to Tharston more.
There's
Get
also a
another bit
business
from him.
card that you have that would put you in communication with the head of the devil's hierarchy.
Oh yeah, we could talk to Lord Grandpa Momo.
No.
Okay, so that's Arjhan's pitch in the fight. Caelum, Cori, Gwen, any takes on it?
Honestly, all of this is still out of my wheelhouse, so I'm going with Arjhan.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Gwen is pretty much of the mindset of like, I mean, you guys know better. I don't want to fight this guy, surprisingly, but like, I think Gwen's whole thing is just we need a plan before we go in there. We need to know exactly what we're gonna say because we can't. If we're gonna do this, we shouldn't fuck it up.
We're close to the finish line. We can't
Yeah.
trip here.
Yeah.
Okay.
This entire time, Caelum has been wearing his cloak, but he'll just pull it back if he's inside Gideon. You can see that his ears are pierced now, and he has tattooed crow feet on either side of his eyes.
I dig it. Okay.
He's lost the ponytail, and it's been shaved down, so it's just like the swoose.
Is it like Melina and Ronnie,
Yeah.
where it goes over the eye?
Mm-hmm.
On both sides?
Yeah.
Neat.
Takes off the cloak. One half of he's wearing his breastplate, but then like just a bare arm that has raven feathers going down it.
Oh
Hello.
shit! When did you get a tattoo, dude?
Oh, it took like 2 weeks, but Diantha and I spent some time in the Shadowfell.
Oh, are they Shadowfell tattoos?
Yeah.
Like mine?
They don't do anything rad like yours. They're just aesthetic.
Cool.
I felt kind of naked after losing my old body with all the other tattoos on it.
You had tattoos?
Caleb nods his head.
Cool. Awesome. He was
Alright.
very prude in those days, okay?
I'm blue screening right now. I'm like, we went to the baths together. We would have seen that.
Caelum had
No, that was-
scars, but I don't believe he had tattoos at the time.
I think at one point he did have tattoos, but then he died as a lich, so the new body didn't have them.
Maybe. It's fine. Regardless, he has tattoos now, and it's cool.
I'm gonna need you to write up that description for me.
Okay.
You ever surprise your artist live on stream?
You ever make your artist blue screen live on stream?
Yes.
Constantly.
Okay, so you want to find High Cultist of Orcus.
Can you sending off constantly
Oh, yeah, sure.
to ask if they're still in the neighborhood? Because if so, we need to find Orcus cult activity.
I can do you one better and loop you in. And Caelum's gonna cast Establish Connection with Coriander here. He doesn't really need to make the save because he passes it.
Okay.
And Arjhan and Caelum can directly talk to Farron.
Yeah. Is it a 25 words thing, or is it just
10
free
minutes.
speech? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so you reach out to Farron. Farron's happy to hear from you. You can tell, like, from the amount of times that you've used sendings and other, like, magical connection establishing spells when somebody is speaking aloud versus just, like, mentally playing back. And when Farron comments about what a great spell this is and how good of utility it is, you could tell that he's saying it aloud. And there is like a little bit of like there's like a little bit of a giggle in Farron's voice as he's saying it, knowing full well he's just pissing Prescott off. But let me see here. Farron exclaims, or at least informs you, that they have not heard of any recent activity for an Orcus cult down here in the Warring Kingdoms. However, these lands are massive. Orcus cults, as they appear, usually do arrive or arise where there are areas of mass death. So Warring Kingdoms, great place for it. Very tumultuous. People can sort of hide out, do all of that. He isn't 100% sure where you might find one, if at all, in Illyria. Places that he would recommend checking would be either the Pit, or and he sort of has a little downward lilt in his voice when he suggests possibly Vascor, as typically, again, places with a large amount of death centered on them are breeding grounds for cults of undeath.
The Hollow Guard didn't have any information on it.
Farron could go and ask them again. He rolled a nat 1 on being able to get any more information out of them than just, hey, I have, like, want to fight Orcus, how do this thing. But he's fairly certain that there are cults around. He just hasn't had a chance to look for any yet himself. But I think, as he sort of informs you of this situation, that's a good place as any to go on our break for the evening. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you all shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. We're back. Hello, everybody. What?
What is a skeleton's favorite snack?
I don't know. Candy?
I don't know.
No. Guess.
I don't know.
Candy corn.
No. Guess. What is a skeleton's favorite snack?
Snickers. I don't know. I'm really excited.
Ribs. Spare ribs. God, why must you fail me so often?
This is a
That's our
dream.
bit.
This is all I've ever wanted. All I've ever wanted talk to a skeleton. And I know I do, because we all have skeletons inside of us, but that was perfect. Thank you. My Halloween wish came true.
Some of us have skeletons in our closets. I need to go bury mine.
My Halloween wish came true in seeing Simon recreate a video that he's clearly never seen.
I didn't realize it until at the very end.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Woo! Okay.
And all the grocery stores are like, hey, look, it's Halloween. Look at all these cool little decorations that you can put out for Halloween. I'm like, bitch, that's my living room decor now.
Mm-hmm.
That's going up year round.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I just saw something on Twitter.
All right. We've returned. We are back. Farron and Off Constantly have proven not as useful as y'all were hoping. Sad with a nat 1 on their research, but they've at least been helpful in gathering the information about Orcus. What is the plan moving forward? I know that we had...
There's a plan?
It's up for you to decide.
I'm gonna go to Shroudport and cast Meteor Swarm 5 times.
Okay. Season 2 problem.
And then that's what summons the Orcus cultists.
Hey.
The mass death.
What? No.
Oh,
Let's not do that.
We're going to Vascor to go talk to some people and see if there is Orcus cultists there, while also Caelum is going to go and try to see if he can learn teleport.
Okay.
and I do we have a house drop at Vascor? No.
Don't believe so.
We'd have to go to Marisville and then hike our way up.
Or teleport there. Or shit. That's the
That's the problem.
That's the problem, isn't it?
What's the range on What's the range on primeval awareness?
A mile.
Because my assumption is, where there's undead, there's likely Orcus cultists. So we go wherever we suspect there to be Orcus cultists, and then systematically start searching for undead within a mile's radius?
I mean, we have business to do in Vascor anyway.
I can get talks started. Well, when we're in 500 miles of Vascor, at least. I have a spell called Project Image that lets me project myself there. It's incorporeal, but, like, I can still talk and stuff. You're just gonna have to be lugging my body around for a while. So nothing new, really.
Alright.
Oh, Gwen, your hand. Do you want me to take care of that?
No, it's fine.
Fingers look broken, are you sure?
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, I've had worse, right?
Gwen, you used to daily take advantage of my services to take care of a hangover.
Yeah, that's a hangover. That's like head trauma.
That's hand trauma.
Yeah, I don't need it right now. It'll be fine by the time we get there.
Well, what happens if we fight someone along the road? You'll be...
Can I
be
medicine check that to see
Yeah.
if
It's
how far along it is in the healing process?
Make a medicine
I
check.
don't know.
It'll
I
be
don't
a
know if Gwen will
disadvantage.
let you
Or
see-
actually,
Yeah.
Gwen, make a sleight of hand or a stealth check to cover and counter the miss. And
Slide of broken hand.
Sleight of hand. I have advantage on stealth, so I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Why do you have advantage on stealth?
14.
24.
I
okay.
don't know.
Yep. So with a 24, because Gwen is like trying to quickly hide it and then like winces because it is broken fingers. Caelum, you're guessing that this is maybe like a week into the healing process. Like they're splinted. They are set. You hope.
Yeah. It should be better by the time we get there.
if we don't re-break it whenever we fight somebody on the road.
Come on. Anyone we fight on the road, I can defeat with my offhand anyways. Right? Remember when you had your mind taken away from you and you just splattered a guy?
No, I don't.
I mean, you were there, but you weren't there. You did it. It was cool. We took bets. Anyways,
To the road!
to the road!
The
Gwen
three of
starts
them just
walking ahead.
standing awkwardly looking at Gwen.
Yes, just staring. Gwen doesn't keep secrets.
Doorknob to... Oh, we're in Gideon.
Yeah.
Marysville. And on the road.
Okay.
Hi, Gideon. How have you been?
I've been doing well, Resident Caelum.
That's good.
I have decided that I believe it is time for a fresh coat of paint.
Oh, what were you thinking?
I am unsure. I have this... the outside exterior is currently an eggshell white. I'm thinking light blue.
If there's a catalog on paints in Marysville or Vascor, we'll pick one up for you.
Yes. I would appreciate this.
Anything for you, bud.
We are not friends. I am a
Anything
house.
for you, Gideon. You're a friend to me.
I really just
That is
wanted
appreciated
him to be
and
like,
noted.
to be
I'm
like,
sorry if
I
I'm
was
imposing my
thinking
feelings.
satin white.
I'm feeling off-white.
I'm feeling off-putted.
Okay.
I think
So?
he's trying to feel blue.
Da-bo-dee-da-bo-die.
So, Gwen is leading the northern excursion. The trip to Vascor along the coast from Marysville take roughly another 3 weeks of travel.
Oh, Christ. Do we have... Is Sir Cellier closer?
So Tellier would be closer to where the Goliaths were camped.
But we're already in the house. We're trying to get to
Mhm.
Vascor.
Yeah, okay. Okay. On the road again.
All right.
Whee.
Sounds good. So, yeah, you set off, and it is going to be several weeks of travel. Is there anything that you all want to do during that 3 weeks, or is it just go north?
At some point during one of the nights, Caelum is going to motion for Gwen to follow him.
Okay.
Right, let me see
She will
it.
do so.
When they're
Huh?
far enough away from camp. Alright, let me see it.
No, it's fine, Caelum. Seriously.
If it doesn't get the proper treatment, it's not going to heal correctly. You will not be able to hold your axe with that hand. I will not heal it magically, if that's what you're concerned about. I'm just going to dress it.
Fine.
Paw.
She puts her hand, and as you start to unwrap it, you see that it's like there is layering to this break, as in like it was broken initially, and it has been like there is more healing, and then it's broken again and more healing.
Gwen, how
It
long
should
has this
be
been...
further along at this point.
Gwen, how long has this been going on?
It happened like, I don't know, like a couple days before you guys came to town.
Caelum begins to treat it non-magically.
As you do. Make a medicine check.
I got a 22.
Okay. 22 is good.
if you keep exacerbating it the way you have been, break, heal, it will not heal correctly.
Okay. Good?
Yeah. This kind of injury might be career-ending, Gwen.
Not when there's magic, dude.
There's only so much magic can fix. And trust me, I know.
I'll be okay. Thanks, though.
Alright. If you want to talk, though, I'm here.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
Insight. That was weird as fuck.
Yeah, make an insight check.
$21. Is she really okay?
That's a question for LB. What does a 21 get
No.
you?
She is acting weird, definitely. But she's also like avoiding any questions, so she clearly doesn't want to talk about it, whatever it is.
And Caelum, you also didn't spend a whole lot of time with your friends post being underneath the water and fighting a elder kraken brain hybrid thingy. It could just be that. Who knows? Whatever's going on with Gwen. She's trying not to make it a big deal.
That night when Caelum trances, he goes to the library and starts picking out Psychology and You, Helping Your Friends.
How to talk to your 13-year-old. Like... Yeah.
It takes a village.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I would say that on the 3-week travel, let me see here. No. On the way, Cori, you are... I would say it's one of the nights that you go to trance, and as you feel yourself trance, you actually see that there is there's a rumbling in front of you, almost like something is trying to come up from the earth. And you see just 2 little paws kind of breaking their way out of the earth with a little black snoot. And it is a badger that actually comes out of the dirt in order to speak to you. Or at least in order to address you. And you see that it has a little note that is tucked, rolled up and furled underneath the side of one of its... or underneath the side of some of its barding. And it looks at you and says, in common, or actually it would be in Elvish, just... You the one we got the letter from?
Presenting masculine today. Depends who's speaking.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Normally I hang out with the halflings. They're like really cool and all that, right? Like they give me food, just like relentlessly. They love me. I'm very cute, very snuggly. But your family, not like your mum or your dad, but like your family,
Oh, of course.
they received your letter.
Go on.
It's this thing right here.
Oh.
Really?
Of course. Takes it. Thank you. Sort of like looks around, picks up a ration and tosses it to them as a treat or as a tip.
They will take it. They are excited about this. This is a free snack for them.
Thank you.
That's right.
Unfurl the letter.
Goes back into the hole. And then let me see here. I have everything written down. It's just trying to find where the things are written down. Okay. Because gotta love show notes. It effectively says, let me see. Oh, that's where I find it. Okay. Okay. You would effectively find a letter that says, Dearest relative, we hope you are doing well. Thank you for reaching out to us. Should ever you need our counsel, you will always be welcomed as our honored guest. Dream of us.
I think Cori sort of thinks on this. And is gonna roll up the scroll and go and try and find Caelum.
Okay. Sounds good. And this would happen on a different night than Caelum attempting to fuss with Gwen's broken hand, I would think. So he's not too far away.
All right. Caelum.
Hey.
In the process of rolling up a scroll, would you mind
Yes.
accompanying? Oh, well,
Sorry.
if you're busy.
No. That's just sorry. I fell into the habit of that. It was like a thing Diantha and I would do.
I've got something of a family reunion.
Oh, okay.
Would you be willing to accompany me to that?
Yeah, sure. It's been a long time since I saw. I forgot your dad's name.
Think Dad. Uglon.
It's been a long time since I've seen Uglon, so yeah.
No, we're not going to see Uglon.
Oh.
You see, it's another branch of the family. They might have something that they can offer about the Orcus situation.
I didn't know that your mother's side of the family. Okay, cool.
Not my mother's side of the family either. Go and find a comfy place to sit down.
Quoi? You'll sit down in front of her.
Cori's eyes close. And then one eye peeks open and Cori just sort of motions for you to also close your eyes.
You're gonna have to explain this to me eventually. He'll close his eyes.
We're going to have to trance.
Oh, okay.
Cori's going to try and trance the two of them into the presence of the Elven Pantheon.
Okay. Well, thankfully, when you trance, you find yourselves on the plateau that you have found yourselves on multiple occasions. Cori, you see again, annexes have been built onto the library as a whole. It's looking rather nice at this point in time. Mistra the Raven Queen as well as Saloon, kind of combining their forces to create a mega library, is looking rather nice. And Cori standing on this, and you focus on the letter that was sent. You can see that there is, that appears before you, very similar to how doors and other such things have appeared, what looks to be a very warm looking oaken door that has just lovely ivy that seems to curl up its sides. It has a beautiful design of stars, moons. You see that there are like deer running by. There's a bow and an arrow. Like this is like when you think about if the equivalent of us is in our current state thinking about Renaissance painters and like the quote unquote ease or that we assume that they were able to just produce these works of great art, that translates to this door, where it is both elegant but efficient in its design, and it is there. And you can see that the handle, which is this very nice rich lacquered oak, turns and the door opens, and there is a brilliant golden light that seems to extend from it. And you can hear the sounds of people coming from inside. And Cori, this door looks familiar. You've seen this door before. In fact, you saw this door when you died one of the last times, but you were stuck inside of a ring of mind shielding and didn't want to get out in case your friends tried to resurrect you. But that same door is here and opened.
Cori kind of comes to this realization and goes, oh.
Oh, it seems you have an idea of where we are. Maybe you can elucidate me. Cori?
Sorry, I almost went here when I died the last time.
Oh.
Well, seems this has been a long time coming. Gonna step towards the door.
Okay. Sounds good. So you open the door, and inside you can see what looks like a lovely oak forest. There are strong-looking leaves that have begun to tumble down, and it is very much just this rather nice-looking autumnal walk. You can still hear the sounds of individuals down the pathway, but you do not see them directly.
As they're walking, Cori just kind of slows their roll a little bit to watch the leaves fall. And then looks to Caelum and says, sorry, I didn't want to go alone.
No, that's very fair. Where are we going? Aside from meeting your family.
Do I know the name of the realm that the Pantheon lives on?
I would say that you do. Do I have it written down near me?
Like Cinderil or something? Or is that
That's
just a Lord of the Rings
Pokemon.
book? Oh, I should know this. I'm a bad elf.
Also, that's...
Arvendor.
Seldarine. Okay.
The Seldarine are what the elven deities are called, and most elves are called the Seldarin.
Okay.
But yes,
So
it is
say what you said again.
Arvendor is the
Arvendor.
name of the place for the elven people.
All right. Caelum asks where we are, and Cori says, well, the ancient texts called it Arvendor.
and Cori, as you take your steps into here, this is like coming home. This is like when you first step into a place where you know the location of every single thing. Like how, say, in a kitchen, and you go to somebody else's kitchen and you have no fucking clue what their spice rack is like. But you've then met the person who lives there, and if you ask them for a specific spice in that spice rack that you have no idea of how to get to, they would be able to pull it in a matter of seconds. That is what this plane feels like to you. This is home beneath your boots in a way that the autumn aisle, in a way that the spring aisle, in even the summer aisles, in any of the places that you've ever been, this place is home.
There's just a deep breath from Cori. And I want to say that there's like a visible, like Miyazaki-esque like hair raise of just sort of like, ooh, we're here.
Well, imagine how I feel.
Okay. So, going forward, eventually, you find that your feet are moving without really your active thought in doing so, in wanting to go forward. It seems like there is this innate pull that you have towards the end of this lane. And that is when you come across what appears to be a large wooded meeting hall. It is similar to a grove in that it feels like an opening in and amongst the trees, but looking closely at these trees, they have grooves and ridges amongst them that give them a more aesthetic purpose. There is a large crescent-shaped table before you where there wraps around a body of water that you could almost call a pool if it didn't feel like an ocean. There is a chair that is empty closest to you that seems to be at the head of the table, and extending to the right side, you see a woman with silvered hair and a more reverent expression speaking to an older-looking man whose gnarled staff leans against his chair, a wreath of holly resting atop his head. Staring intently down into the pool next to the older man is a middle-aged woman with shorter hair and feathered wings extending from her back, who seems to be seated comfortably in heavy armor, while the rest of the table wears lighter gear. To her immediate right, you see a feminine form who could be described as pure beauty. The way the light falls on her, the way that she sits at the table, she seems to hold no stress upon herself, and she is actively engaged with the winged woman to her side. Her smile is warm, and you almost forget yourself for a moment in the lines on her face attributed to years of pure-hearted joy as she waves at you. To the left of the table, there is a man with a long, steely blue hair in a green cloak, the same color as the ivy coming down the pillars, and an old man with an aged and weathered skin that looks like bark, who laughs alongside a giant raccoon who seems to be in the middle of telling a story based on its hand gestures. Next to the older man sits a nervous-looking half-elf who is trying to keep up with the raccoon's story, not noticing the coy figure next to him slyly taking berries and other various fruits from the table, deftly placing them into the pockets of the half-elf. Based on how low the fruit bowl before him has gotten, you assume that he has been putting fruits and berries in this unsuspecting half-elf's pockets for quite some time. At the end of the table, in a chair on their own, sits a minstrel with eyes that spark like sapphires playing an ornate lute, whose only attentive listener lays at the base of the pool, half submerged with blue-green skin, the music seeming to be in tune to the crashing of the small waves within the pool. It is the minstrel who notices you first, and as they stop their playing, the others notice you as well. The giant raccoon taking their leave as they cue to leave, giving you a complex yet entirely organic parting handshake to both the weathered old man and the man in the green cloak. "My dear Seldarin, our guest of honor has finally arrived," the minstrel calls out to the group before you as they stand. may I have the pleasure of introducing us all once again to our leader, Coralon Lorathian. And the woman who had waved at you previously pipes up, "Oh, don't be so formal, Malira. I heard they go by Cori now. Is that right?" And they all look towards you. And one of them also sort of like looks behind you and sees Caelum standing there. Like,
I'm their +1.
That's unexpected, but please have a seat. You as well. We'll find chairs. And the individual who would have been on the left hand, the man with the long steely blue hair, he will stand up and actually offer you his seat. You're able to sit. You can sit here if you would like. A friend of Coralon is a friend of ours, as many of us are indeed friends of Coralon. Hopefully, this time around, anyways.
Thank you. Caelum will reverently just like scoot into his seat and just inch forward towards the table.
Is totally fine as well. As you are scooching forward, the half-elf figure that was there leans over to you and just sort of says, like, "It's all right. They're pretty nice if you're able to keep up with a lot of their stories. Sorry about all of this." And he will extend his hand out, and they're not fallen. They say that their name is Kalrashar.
Caelum will introduce himself as Caelum.
Okay. And they will nod, and you see them sort of like sit back a little bit and then put their hands into their pockets, like that is their comfort strategy. It's like a hoodie where you want to keep your hands in front, and you just hear a and they pull their hands back out, and it is just covered in berries and jams and other such things. And they look upset as they quickly like shoot their head towards Irvain, who is the god of trickery and mischief, as they just start cackling.
Under the table, Caelum just slides them a handkerchief.
Thank you. And just like, why is this every time? I hate sitting next to you. They are like in contact with Irvain. But Cori, as you sit, the Pantheon recognizes you. They have welcomed
Clearly.
you. Yeah. And you, knowing them, would recognize the deific figures here. Most specifically, there is Melira, who is the minstrel. Then there is Deeps Shahalis, who is the god of the sea elves. In a way, you ended up finding the sea elves that you were looking for in this. You also recognize Sehanine Moonbow, as well as Solinor Thelendria. Many of them being nature deities of starlight and twilight and the sea, romantic love, all sorts of things.
Of course. I think that Cori is just kind of taking a moment to like glance across the table and is quietly naming each one of them to themselves. Because like they've never seen these people in person, but they've read about them. And
you've seen artist depictions, and that's like the closest thing you got.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Cori is a little bit starstruck for a second. Before they finally do just collect themselves and says, "Terribly sorry I'm late. I understand that an invitation was extended to me before, but I wasn't in a position to accept."
And it is Sehanine Moonbow, who actually responds at this point. Just, well, it wasn't so much as an invitation as more of, well, we were worried about you. You know, your mortal body had died and all of that, and we understand that you are busy as you are. I mean, you're, what is it that they always say? Being the elfiest elf to ever elf. Is that correct?
Caelum can't help but like just snicker under the table.
We're
Cori,
very well aware of Lorathian's quest. It happens cyclically, you might imagine.
Cori literally blushes at Sehanine. Like, Sehanine's supposed to be Coralon's consort.
Well, a third of it. We were worried, and so we figured that, well, if your mortal body was turned to dust, that a good option for us would be to maybe have a chat, catch up, you know. We heard the rumblings, you know, this place we call home that, I mean, I don't want to call you a landlord because that makes it seem icky. You're our warden of Arvandor. Does that sound better? I think that sounds better. We felt it shift. And then you just never stopped to say hello.
Once again, terribly sorry about that.
Oh, it's understandable. You're busy. You know, the whole worms in the sky thing. Elistray sort of filled us in. On the back end of it, yeah.
I see. I'm still trying to get a hang of all of this. I'm still very new.
It's all right. There's lots of time to learn.
Certainly. Well, I'm terribly sorry to immediately turn the conversation to business, but...
You always do. It's fine. Not you, but you.
I see I'm going to have to get used to that. The Keeps and I are currently seeking the true name of Caius. Now, as far as we know, the only living being that we can access who knows that would be Orcus.
And there is just like the entire room just ugh.
Now your letter mentioned counsel, so I've come seeking it.
Well, how do I put this? We don't know the name. Because there was this thing that was going on for a while with Orcus where he had the ability to... It was before he became a god for a stint. And then he died. And when he came back, he had a new ability that was called... What did we call it? The True Death? We lost a few gods. Not of the elven variety. Well, a few of the elven variety. But...
Can Caelum roll a history on the True Death?
Yeah, you certainly can.
That sounds concerning. But
30.
Yes, a 30.
It sounds like he and I have more things in common than I originally thought.
Don't
Continue.
say that. Caelum, you would know, based off of research and finding things out, when you were told initially, when learning the language of the lost, that this was a language that should never be spoken because of how powerful it was. And through your own inner workings and understandings, just in a short amount of time, you have been able to rip meteors out of the sky. You have figured out how to stop time. You have done marvels, what lesser individuals might consider a miracle. Now imagine that kind of power with Orcus as the caster. The ability from a creature who cares not for any life, whether it is mortal, whether it is God. Orcus cares not for it. The true death, the final death, this killing word, this was of Orcus's own design. This was a spell that Orcus used to, we'll say, upset the order of Mechanus for a brief moment. Orcus did not realize, however, that on Mechanus, if any of the residents die, the next in line gets promoted to then be them. So when Orcus had killed Primus, the leader and de facto
a new
owner,
Primus,
a
and
new
then he
Primus, yeah.
killed him?
A new Primus appeared, and Orcus was like, fuck this nonsense, and left. The Mind Flayers are not particularly excitable about Orcus's final death, as even the Mind Flayers had a god, and that god met its fate via Orcus, who was more so just flexing at the time. Orcus is a little strong.
If Cori is looking at Caelum, he just slowly starts getting paler and paler as they keep discussing.
Caelum, as you are getting paler and paler, one of the elven deities, Rilliphane, will ask if you would, sees that you're looking a little pale, and just, here, eat this, it'll calm your stomach. And, it's like a weird, mash of shit that they probably had in their pocket.
Who am I to deny the gods?
Yeah, it doesn't taste good going down, but it settles really well.
Who's that ginger?
And they, tap the side of their nose twice, and they don't say anything. But as they do, you look past them at Aravan, and Aravan just has a big smile on their face, having seen you eat this thing.
Just a very queasy smile, and you're like, yeah, I ate it.
Okay.
So it seems that a number of you have had dealings with Orcus in the past.
Well,
What are
so there was... It's not that we necessarily had to have dealings with Orcus, it's more if we had to care for a sick relative for a time. And they have since relapsed, and we hope for the best.
Do you mind my asking?
One of our kin, to say the least, down the hall, mind you. And they motion, and you see, past this miniaturized ocean where Deep Chehalis is, that the boughs of the trees turn dark, and even though this room extends, it is just a deep darkness that extends through there. It does not look like a place that you want to go, and Cori, you get the sense that that is where the gods of the deep Seldari are, the lords, the gods of the drow, and nefariously aligned elves would be found, not at this table, but somewhere else where they can talk shit about everyone at this current table.
Great.
Dorsane, are you familiar with ghouls?
Yes, of course.
Dorsane was the first They were an elf who took it upon themselves to devour the flesh and spirits of other elves that had died. They were preventing spirits from joining into the circle, into our cycle of life and rebirth. Dorsane considered himself a follower of Orcus and reached out to Orcus continuously, and as such was gifted with a great amount of power. Dorsane realized that maybe what they were doing was not the best, we'll put it lightly, and was attacked by another demon lord named Yenego. Nasty man, you don't want to deal with him. And they lost themselves for a little bit, but it was, well, they lost themselves that we were able to bring them back into the fold for a little bit and try and help them regain, maybe, maybe don't eat the bodies of elves.
Question for you, Indor.
Yeah.
Does our Shadowfell have a version of the Temple of Filth?
It does not, no.
Cool. Good.
Yeah, Papa Nurgle ain't got no home.
That's also the temple where I think Dorsane is worshipped as well.
Dorsane's in a few places.
Yeah.
Dorsane is later, as we stated, relapsed and is currently relocated back to 113 of the Abyss. They are considered what is known to be an exarch, or a demigod, infused with Orcus's might.
Intriguing.
So as far as our relation with Orcus, not a good one. Not a good one. And it is more of from a place of trying to help. Obviously, helping Dorsane, but it didn't really go as well as we'd hoped.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry about that.
Yeah.
I understand the sentiment. As far as communicating with Orcus, do you presume that to be a difficult venture?
Communicating? No. Orcus, as they were, and as they have been again, is versed in all language, is able to communicate telepathically. Communicating with Orcus is not a problem. Reasoning with Orcus, I don't recommend it. Especially when we're just getting to know you. Yes,
Caelum, hi.
Caelum. You.
Even if that means an ex-follower of Orcus might usurp him.
That is a conversation that you would have to have with an ex-follower of Orcus. What is the phrase that you on the material plane like to use? Orcus's worshippers are ride or die, and they often choose die.
For the benefits, I assume.
Yes?
Okay.
Is a very force of nature styled individual. Not exactly easy to pin down, and his followers seem to rather like the destruction that is in his wake, or they believe that they, whether it is the lowliest acolyte, the mightiest of worshipper, will be the next in line to be a general under Orcus, that they will be the next Dorsane, that they will be the next Skull King. It never happens. Orcus
Cori
doesn't care.
Cori notices that sharp inhale of breath from Caelum and gives him a look.
At least we can't use me as bait anymore, right?
Not like we would have to begin with. Well, presuming any one of you wanted to obtain some knowledge that Orcus had, how would you go about it?
I wouldn't. Quite frankly, there is nothing that Orcus knows that I personally am invested in. I would expend every other option to not speak with Orcus. If you wanted to acquire knowledge from Orcus, you would have to offer him something that he would be unable to get otherwise, though he might attempt to take it from you if you bring it with you or present it. Orcus has many enemies. He is very strong, however, and these enemies are... It's like when two werewolves fight each other. It just sort of goes on. They aren't able to truly defeat each other, but they just kind of like the act of shedding each other's blood. If you're looking to get something from Orcus, you have to have something that he wants. But this is an individual who holds nothing precious. Even their wand. The Wand of Orcus. Named after him. He will destroy it, cast it out amongst the plains simply to sow chaos. It always finds its way back to him, so he does not mind. This is an individual who only has time.
Then what, pray tell, would Orcus want?
The only thing Orcus has ever wanted. To be the last thing left.
Well, that's running in contravention to what Caius wants. And that's to essentially absorb everything. Can't be the last one left if you're a pile of worms.
This
he
is
might
sound
be
logic
banking
to me, but to Orcus it might not be.
He might be banking on everything else becoming worms and then him defeating Caius. With the true name that he has.
Let all else fall to worms and then kill the worms himself. Then he truly would be the last.
Fudge.
You can swear here.
I'm trying not to, for the sake of... I have a little one.
What?
I have a little one. I'm trying not to
No,
swear.
that's fine. We understand. It's okay. I just had an out-of-moment mind fart where I was like, what? All right, Amaris, yeah.
All right.
I was like, is this like you just fucking like lore drop it? Like, I have tattoos and ear piercings now, but like the lore equivalent of it? Like,
no. He's talking about Amaris.
okay.
It read like they didn't understand the human concept of children.
Elves don't have kids.
I mean, they did. They clearly did. Anyway, Cori grows contemplative for a moment, and then, like, there's a squeaking as the chair scoots back. Well, terribly sorry to cut and run, but I have some information I need to share with the rest of my crew.
Oh, I have one more thing to add, if you don't mind.
This is one of the few times that you'll be able to speak directly to the Sildarin.
In the case that we might fail, please, I implore you to rally everyone. We need to fight,
We'll look
or else there's
into
going
it.
to be nothing left.
Rallying everyone takes a bit of time, but should you fail, we will look into it.
What's it?
I think Cori's face turns hard. Thank you for your counsel. Give Illustray my regards.
Of course. We don't see her as often as we would like. She really belongs up here, but she wants to be a light in the darkness and all of that. Good for her.
Caelum, do you have any more questions?
No. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming by. It's not often we get outsider visitors.
If there needs to be standing on ceremony, I'm the librarian for Saloon and Mistra's Magister.
Oh.
Yeah.
How's that been?
No one's been directly challenging me to duels yet, so plus.
Not many will. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm afraid of the ones that will. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So Cori, you and Caelum have finished this commune with the Pantheon.
As we're walking back,
They were
Cori.
nice.
Nice. Did you learn anything?
As per usual, we are in over our heads. So that's nothing new.
And as per usual, the gods have left us swinging in the wind.
Well, you know what they say. The gods won't do for you what you can't do for yourself.
Of course not.
And it's always been do or die, right?
Cori gives him a sad smile. Come on. We should fill everybody else in.
Yeah.
We come back.
Is there a gemmery?
There's not, no.
Oh. I missed my surprise Kixbox toy.
Yeah, sorry, no Kinder Egg this time around.
Woo! Cori's gonna go and find Arjhan and Gwen.
Is it weird that I still taste ginger?
I like to imagine
Yes.
that's what Arjhan and Gwen hear coming from the woods where these two had elfed off to.
You
I
expected
assume one
you
of us is
accepted
awake
pocket candy from an elven god.
I mean, for the
All
most
bets are off
part.
the table.
I assume one of us is awake and one of us is...
Oh, yeah.
Zonked.
It's up to Arjhan and Gwen to determine who wants to be the one sleepy, who wants to be the one up.
Arjhan can be awake.
Hey,
Hey,
Arjhan,
sleep well?
in a manner of speaking. Cori's gonna sit down,
like
take a deep
that.
breath. I've communed with this with the Seldarin.
I was there. Moral support.
Oh god, y'all elfed off again?
I was with them.
I know.
Oh, right, elves. Right, okay.
To be fair, it's probably the safest place that I could possibly be.
Anyway,
Regardless, I have received counsel, and I'll leave it up to you to decide how useful it is. And I will cast exposition.
you're gonna have to fill me in. Somebody's gonna have to fill me in.
Orcus
Are
Are
want
you
nothing
waking
but
up Gwen
destruction.
for this?
Sure,
DL.
I'll walk over to Gwen and shake her awake. Hey, we've got plot stuff to divulge. I could also
Right.
redo your bandages while we're talking.
They're fine. I redid them before I went to bed. I know a thing or two, okay?
There's like a sidelong glance from Cori, clearly recognizing that should have been healed by now.
So what's going on?
We talked to some elven gods
When?
just now. I wish someone told me. I could have been a little bit more prepared instead of playing the pronoun game. Cori,
So,
Yander, John Quill.
First name Cori, last name Yander.
huh? What? Sorry, sometimes I get scatterbrained.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What'd you do? What happened?
I'll let Cori explain.
Cori explains that they tranced and met with the Elven Pantheon, the Seldarin, and they have learned that Orcus is a big bad boy who is not gonna want to talk to us, and it's gonna be really hard to find anything to offer him because the only thing that he wants is to be the only thing in existence.
Orcus is also capable of truly killing you in a way that matters, where you can't come back. He has slain gods with a single word.
Okay. So we find another way.
So we can't fight him. We
Yeah.
can't talk to him.
From what
Which is
we heard, it's about a 50-50 split about talking to him, which is far better odds than fighting him.
Which was a suspicion that we had before, but it's nice to have it confirmed.
What about finding an idiot who's already talked to him? Any intelligence from the gods on that? Divine guidance?
Is he really the only person who knows this name?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't there gods of secrets and stuff?
No.
No. We're not doing it. We're not doing that.
Okay.
again.
Somewhere in the
Okay.
distance, Shar smiles.
I'm just saying, we have dealt with Shar before, right? Shar can't kill us with a word. I know that fucking sucks, but both of these fucking suck. I'm just saying it shouldn't be off the table. If we're gonna go into the abyss to talk to a demon who we can't reason with or negotiate with or kill, that sounds like the worst. You know? Like there seems like zero option there, right?
If it isn't
Unless I'm
off the
missing
table,
something.
I would rather it be a final option.
If you do go to speak to Shar, you do it without me. I refuse.
Okay, that's fine. But we need to keep our options open because otherwise we are... I got people to look after. I can't just do a suicide mission.
I don't think we're quite as desperate as all that. Not yet, anyway. Let's look into finding a follower of Orcus, and then go from there. I could return to the Seldarin, and see if they have any insight on where we could find one. We have a family member who fell to Orcus. Perhaps we could find one of his followers.
But we have to find a ghoul that's capable of talking to us.
You presume that we're looking for a ghoul. They don't all have to be ghouls. He makes ghouls. Can't be all of them who are ghouls. Someone has to make the ghouls.
We need to find someone who already has rapport with Orcus.
We do know of those 2 demon princes who have it out for him.
Okay, what's the option there?
Perhaps turn them against him.
So they fight him?
They're already against him.
Well, organize them against him. Perhaps, why haven't they teamed up to attack him yet? Presumably because of demon infighting. Let's see if we
Or
can...
it has something to do with the single word that kills someone instantly.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Maybe they're not stupid enough to try something, but maybe they know something that would help someone who is.
That
No.
phrasing really kind of cuts me a little bit there, not gonna lie.
Sorry, speaking for myself.
One of those demons is Demogorgon. I don't think any of us can handle attempting to reason with him.
There are other option, Grats?
Maybe.
God of hedonism, right?
That doesn't sound too bad.
From what I heard, out of all the demons, he's the most like a devil.
Can I make a check of some sort to know anything about Gratz?
You most certainly can.
I'm going to try... I know a lot about Gratz because I had a cleric of Joaquin at one point.
Incredible.
Joaquin
So-
Phoenix? No way!
He was the Joker.
No, it was Miss Hatchet. Let's see. Perhaps religion? Religion sounds
Yeah.
good. I've got a +0 for history.
Religion
Let's do religion.
or Arcana be another one. Learn about demons.
I got a 14.
Okay. You know that Grast is a prince. He's one of the demon princes. He's one of the OG demons. He has his own layer of the abyss that's not too far down from the surface. We're talking double digits here. Not triple digits or quadruple. He's, relatively close for a plane of infinite planes, but close. Just a start. And you know his son, kinda.
Parnell.
Go on.
Parnell, aka Peter, aka Perry. An
Who
individual
we royally fucked over.
that
Oh.
you sent
To Sigil.
to
Crying
Sigil.
home. Oh no.
Sent to Sigil to be on trial.
Does he know about that?
With a 14, you're not sure.
Oh, whoa. Oh no.
I mean, he'll excuse us. We're just doing what we wanted to do, right? That's hedonism.
Oh, if he cares for his son at all, we're fucked. Because
Why do we not say we know his son?
you might already know.
Oh, look at this sticky situation we're in.
Oh, it's so sticky
Diamond.
because the choices there are if he cares about Parnell, then either he's mad at us, or the slightly better option, he's gonna have us do something to help him.
Simon.
Yeah.
Can I make an Arcana check
Sure can.
on Grasset?
Yeah.
because I specifically want to know if Arjhan has heard of any, shall we say, mortals of note that have talked to him before.
Yeah.
RJ knows there's one.
That's who I want. That's who I want
Oh
to know
man!
about.
Twice in 1 week? Really? Cool.
I have no idea where the Witchlight crew is right now, but
Oh, we're done.
oh, sweet. 17 on the blood die. I think I want to use that to get a 23.
Okay. Sounds good. So with a 23, you would know of one individual who has spoken to Grazit before. I cannot name them off the top of my head. Please tell me.
Tasha.
Oh, yeah.
Igwil.
Oh, yeah.
Twice in 1 week, baby. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You've heard of a very, very powerful wizard who has done some not great things, but was in contact with Grast, to put it lightly, for sure. You would know the name, I think that you would know the name Tasha. Or better yet, the daughter of Baba Yaga.
I know one person has one over on Grazit. It not of this world. She's the daughter of Baba Yaga.
Who?
Baba Yaga, the archfey.
The hag?
The archfey.
Huh. Is that anything like a Lyra?
Close.
Honestly, I was going to ask if that's up your area of expertise, Cori.
Talk to Alira, see if she can get us an audience with Baba Yaga to get to Tasha.
Well, specifically,
I could roll for it. I'm gonna roll for Baba Yaga. What is that, Arcana?
Yes.
3. Is that anything like a Lyra?
Yep. And I think with Corey's question of, is that anything like a Lyra, that is a great spot for us to call it for tonight's session. So, that is it for our game! Hooray! We did it! When we come back next week, we're gonna try and figure out,
At
hey!
dawn we plan.
At dawn, we plan! How best to
Ford
speak
keeps back.
Tasha!
Alright.
I'm sure that won't have any repercussions or nothing. It's going to be great.
What won't have repercussions? We haven't done anything yet.
That's a
We're just
season 2
talking.
problem. It's fine. Anyways, that is it
You
for our
want my
show. Thank
firstborn?
you.
When do we start?
Thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. I love doing shows like this, and I love it when these folks are on the channel. RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, my name is RJ, and you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream with my friends. Starting up this week? Next week? I don't know yet. Over at the Hype Goblins channel on Wednesdays, I'll be running a Humblewood campaign. We're going to have some really fun times in a homebrew world that I have been actually working on for like 10 plus years. It's going to be great. Other than that, you can find me here on Mondays as Caelum the Shatterkai Wizard. If you haven't seen it yet, catch the end of our Witchlight campaign, which is concluded very tearfully. Very, very good. Good
Media
game.
sang a song.
Media sang a song for us and then read smut in Nights in the Courtyard.
There was a lot of emotional whiplash last night. You guys should go check it out.
Other than that, I am dark this week due to people not being here. They're going to be in other places. And so the next time you'll see me is next Monday.
Monday.
Monday. TodayKinder.com.
Hi Hi, everybody. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters and the Twitches. The next time I'm going to be live isn't until next week Wednesday or next week Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. I mean, I could be streaming, but the LBHackEmUp channel will be live on Thursday, maybe Wednesday if Lauren's feeling spicy. But you know, check the Twitter for all of that sort of stuff. DanaeKeener.com.
Boy, I'm Cyber. You can find me on twitch.tv/CyberWolf1. We're playing Bayonetta right now because it's spooky month and slutty season, and Bayonetta 3 is coming out later this month. Yeah, and then I'm here on Mondays. That's it. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hey everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener, where there is a pinned tweet and a schedule that I desperately need to update because a lot of things have changed. You will also find me here next Monday because I have no other games.
Monday.
DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. Right now, you can find us at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Mondays. It's the only day that I'm streaming right now because I'm in the process of adjusting work schedule as well as moving. I'm going to eventually have an office again later this month that I'm very excited about. So in November, we'll be gearing up for more games, so check on back during that. But in this time of the spook, feel free to join us again, Mondays, 5:30, twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. Feel free to ask us your questions right in there, and we will do our best to respond in kind. But with that, I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!